So it's probably useful to ask, was this a coercive process? After all, when we think about the free market, people are deciding where to work. People are deciding what to buy. People are deciding what to make or how to make it. And now, a gigantic government and industrial machine was deciding all of those things for many citizens and for many corporations. Now, if you looked at the experience of people in Europe during World War II, particularly those in countries that were conquered by the Nazis, where millions of people were rounded up and sent to Germany to serve as slave laborers, you would say, yes, production for the war machines, the various war machines of World War II, was a coercive experience. And of course, millions of American men are drafted. They are taken, perhaps they agree, they're ready to go, but perhaps they didn't really want to go. They're drafted after all, and they have to serve in the Army and so, or the Navy and so on. And there is an element of coercion there. That's true. But by and large, people decided where to move. They decided what jobs to take. The exception, of course, the most obvious exception is the experience of Japanese Americans, over 100,000 of which are rounded up and taken from their homes, many on the West Coast, where they were considered to be a sort of security risk in the case of a possible Japanese invasion, and transported to internment camps deep in the American interior. And they lose years of their life to this process. They lose property that is seized from them, and they certainly lose their freedom and their rights. So for them, this is obviously a coercive experience. But for the rest of Americans, in many cases, the experience of World War II, particularly if they're not fighting, contains an awful lot of liberation as well. Liberation from the bad economic times of the 1930s, in the case of African Americans, liberation in many cases from the Jim Crow South. It's no wonder that many Americans look back on that time and call it the Good War. Whether they're right or wrong, that's the memory.